How to massively grow your hypnotherapy business in just 6 weeks. Welcome back to part 3. I'm Scott, clinical hypnotherapist, lecturer and trainer, and I help hypnotherapy business and student hypnotherapists to fast track their journey, attract more clients, and increase the success of their clinic quickly and easily. So welcome back to part 3 of your training. You've been amazing with the comments, the likes, the shares, the whole way through. I hope that this information has served you and helped you to make the changes that you need to make. So well done for sticking with the program. You know that you are worth every second of personal development that you give to yourself. In your previous 2 trainings, we covered the 5 things that you need to get started in your hypnotherapy clinic right away. Number 1, a place to work from. Number 2, client-focused marketing. Number 3, a program. Number 4, a web page. And number 5, quality traffic. Then we covered the Mythbusters acronym. Money is evil. This is what people say when they can't manage their resources. Yourself, spending more time on negative limiting thoughts than empowering creativity. Therapy and lack of confidence as a therapist. High prices, the belief that all of Earth's money has flown into another parallel world somewhere. Blame, refusing to look at oneself or understanding one's personal power. Undersized market, joining the dogfight for customers using only lazy advertising techniques. System, going in blind, not researching or developing knowledge. Time, because everyone has the same amount of time. It's about how you prioritize it. Economy, when we think that people who save money instead of spending it means that people have less money to spend, or believing that you are owed clients in a good economy. And resources, expecting to have to take out a $20,000 loan to start what can be done for free just using today's social media and a little pluck of creativity. The TRACK acronym. Traffic, getting new people into your funnel or newsletter. Retention, keeping your subscribers' details. Affection, giving love out to grow your sense of visibility, authority, and to get your clients to build a vision about what could be. You can use the sales acronym here, just not the offer part. Conversion, creating a compelling sales offer. This is where you use the sales offer acronym, the whole acronym. Whereas in the affection part, you just use sales. But now you use sales offer in conversion. Keep, upselling, cross-selling, and introducing your total product suite. The sales offer acronym. This is literally a step-by-step checklist of what to say and in what order to sell any product or service. Self. I help who? Do what? Buy what? Without what? Ambition or problem. Have you ever wanted to or not wanted to something, etc. Lifestyle. Social proof. Rags to riches. Pain to pleasure. Getting to know you as a person and your story. Environment. The big picture of how we got here, or your larger why. Why are we here? Showbag, how you let people know what you actually do or have to sell. Opportunity, reminding people of basic case studies of those 5 markets. Features, advantages, and benefits, the nuts and bolts of what they get. Freebies, bonuses, distinctions, and juxtapositions. Why should they choose you? Energy and emotion amplification. Wake them up towards the end. Don't go to sleep at the end of your sales offer. Register and risk reversal. The call to action. The Showbag acronym. How to explain what you do or have to sell. System, the name of your program. How it works. The steps or parts that they get. Outcome focused. What to expect at the end of the sale. Why the outcome is important. The lifestyle benefits of the outcome based on the 5 markets. Brandable, how your product or service is unique to you or can be spread past your local social group. Acronyms or anchors, how to remember what you teach through wordplay or diagrams. Generosity, why you should give it all you've got. The DORK acronym, what happens when you email a subscriber or customer. Deliver, make sure your email gets received. Open, how to entice your reader to engage by opening the email or letter. Read, how to get to the point quickly. Click, get them to your affection or conversion page. Consume, how to structure your content using the sales or sales offer acronym. Commit, the call to action at the end. The 5 markets, literally a summary of the only 5 things that people actually want or exchange. Help not die, not be lonely. Not run out of money, not run out of time, and let's have some fun. I know there's a lot of information there, so I encourage you to watch, to rewatch, to take notes, and to post questions in the comment section. In this video, we're going to jump straight into some case studies and then frequently asked questions. And then we're going to do what I like to call the should ask questions. You'll find that the FAQs, or the frequently asked questions, are more so questions that people make out of panic. It's the newbie questions, the questions people ask when they haven't been there before. And the SAQs, or the should ask questions, they come across as more long-term questions. They're the kind of questions people ask when they're a little bit more experienced and they understand the systems. We're going to go deeper into the BAG acronym to talk to you about branding, acronyms, and generosity, and why it's important to be generous of yourself every step of the way. And then we're going to show you how you can further your progress in our advanced hypnotherapy training course online. We're also going to give you some very rare special clips of our advanced classroom training. Here's a short clip of our industry famous weight loss program that people pay hundreds to see. The full program is yours as a bonus when you enroll in our advanced hypnotherapy training program to jumpstart your clinic and business.
Power language, or the way I like to describe this, I do this in the smoking one as well. I've got to use that picture later, but I can redraw it, I'm sure. Power language. So there's the conscious mind and the subconscious, which is so much bigger. I should really call it positive sensory language, because your conscious mind understands logic, your subconscious mind understands pictures, sounds, and feelings. And so all these habits you've got, like how do you talk? Or how do you walk? Or how do you... when you talk, do you start with an in or an out breath? Or do you start... what do you do with the lips or the tongue? Do you start with a verb or a noun? Or I don't really know how I talk. I just mean to talk. Just stuff comes out. I think about what I mean to say and it just seems to come out. Because these habits in the subconscious, they know exactly what they're doing. Can everyone see that? So if I've got the eat at breakfast, eat at lunch, eat at dinner, and then there's TV. So what's happening is that you might say, should I eat or not eat? Or if I said, can you think of the number 3, would everybody be thinking of the number 3? Just because I said it. So it's in you. So that could go into maybe it's either a picture or it's a sound or whatever. But then if I say, can you please not think of 3? Try really hard to not think of 3. Is everyone still thinking of 3? So would you say that still goes in to the subconscious? So with eat or not eat, logically you know what not means, but the subconscious has no clue what not means. It doesn't know what a negation is. Can you give me a handful of don't? Like somebody puts some don't in my hand, please. But there's no such substance. You can't have a picture or a sound or a feeling of don't. So with eat or don't eat, it gets rid of not, it grabs that, eat, just eat. And that becomes the habit. So when I see a TV, if I say, should I eat in front of the TV or should I not eat in front of the TV? What are you seeing? Yeah. Who here thought of a pink elephant? Or like who here thought of eating in front of the TV? So literally when I say power language, it really means sensory, picture, sound and feeling language instead of logic, because the subconscious doesn't understand logic. If ever you've had a battle with yourself, just go, I really should have like the willpower to not eat, but I'm just not feeling it. Does that sort of prove that there's sort of two minds going on? There's what you logically want, and there's how you behave. How you behave is always a reflection of not what you want to have happen, but of what you describe happening. So who here likes chocolate? Okay, so everybody, please don't imagine getting up in the middle of the night and getting chocolate from the fridge. And also don't think about the familiar footsteps, or maybe what's the distance to the fridge? And don't imagine that as you get to the fridge, the cool metal handle, as you open the fridge, and it finally lets go, and that cool puff of air, I don't want anyone to think about the eyes readjusting to the light of the fridge, or that purple Cadbury's block, or the tearing of the cardboard and the smell of it maybe, or the gliding of the alfoil and the snapping of the chocolate, that sound it makes. Don't think about this at all. And then maybe the uneven break or the crumbs that seem to come, or as maybe you take it into the kitchen, maybe there's some footsteps. And then don't think about the chocolate, don't smell it, don't kind of feel it melting in your fingers. Do I need to lick that off, or do I need to wash my hands? Like who here had an experience of chocolate just then? Does it make sense what people are doing to themselves? They keep describing what they don't want instead of what they do want.
Have you ever wanted to be challenged? Not just led by the hand and mentored at a deep inner transformational level? To bring the best out of you, not just to be given the latest, most advanced tools in mindset change and transformation and technology to get your message and hypnotherapy skills out there, but to really be given a chance to show what you have in you to people who have done it before. So what's it going to take for you to really get your clinic, your business, your therapy skills, your life to the way that you need it to be for you? To pick your own hours, to choose your own income, to only work with the people who you personally resonate with, to really spend your life leaving a personal legacy and meaningful contribution to your culture, to be in charge of your personal destiny while using the latest and most successful models available today that have been tested through decades by experts who have spent hundreds of thousands of hours distilling this information down to serve their communities, to have built the legacies that they have built to touch, change, and make a difference to the lives of the people they meet, as many who they have never met. Are you ready to access this great well of knowledge? Well, before we jump straight into our powerful frequently asked questions Jumpstarter and our advanced should ask questions section, let me tell you a few short stories just so you can personally relate to these people who have been there, who have stood where you are standing and are now standing where you will soon be standing.
Okay, my name's David Donahue. I'm a hypnotherapist and NLP trainer. And I got into hypnosis because I had really bad claustrophobia. And I thought, I tried a lot of things like scuba diving, which didn't work, and I needed something that worked. I saw a hypnotherapist for something which seemed to work, and I thought maybe this can solve it. And once I finished my course, I found I was able to get rid of my claustrophobia. And I realised that really I want others to get involved, because what it means is you begin to recognise that you have the power to change yourself and, of course, help others and influence others. Yep, they should get in, because the more people who can really start to communicate with others in the way that will help them to understand their life and how to overcome their problems, then the better the world will be. While having achieved the claustrophobia, I recognised I got rid of my fears of spiders, of heights, and a lot of other different fears that I had. But I've also learned how to be a business owner and learned how to really, therefore, take control of my life. So if something's not working, I can now understand it and actually do something about it, so I can then live the life I want to live, which is what I'm now doing, living the life I want to live. I started my business by working with someone else for a little while, understanding a bit about business. I'd been in IT for many years, so I understood how to work in a business, but not on a business. But then I started to explore and understand. I watched a whole lot of webinars, different programs, found the experts, and just started to really then mix in with business owners, so that therefore I can repeat what business owners do. Number one that I think is paramount is to continue your professional development and to really have the professional development split between working in your business, so on what you can do, but really working on your business. The second thing I would suggest that I do is I have other groups that I work with, that I link with and go to regularly, who are business groups. So I get to find out what do they do, what are their challenges, and I get ideas from others. It's no use reinventing the wheel, you may as well just stand on the shoulders of others. To find out more about me, they can go to my website, www.nlptraincoach.com.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Helen Martis from HypnoFit, Australia's leading mindset trainer in weight loss and depression. I'd like to tell you about hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy is one of the most powerful modalities that exists. We make changes in people's lives at the subconscious level. What this means is that when people come to see us, it's not just a matter of talking to them and giving them strategies and techniques. We make real shifts in their belief system and the way that they see their lives and the way that they manage their emotions, so that when we say that we eliminate negative emotions such as anger and sadness, we really do. It's not a matter of here's a technique so that you don't have to think about it, it's actually gone. So I would love you to join us in this incredible field of hypnotherapy where we make massive changes in people's lives. It's a wonderful industry to be in. When people leave us, we feel so good about the work that we do. Scott asked me to make this video. I met Scott a couple of years ago at the Academy of Hypnotic Science, where we were both lecturers and holding various workshops. And we were so interested that we were both presenting these workshops that we thought that we'd visit each other and see what each one was doing, and then we became very good friends. And now I have the Hypnotherapy Business Excellence Mentor Program, which is really here for the benefit of helping you go from playtime to real time. What this means is taking your business from a hobby to a real business, where you can help as many people as possible and have a thriving business at the same time. If you want to do that, please contact me on helenmartis.com, and I am very happy to give you a 30-minute free strategy talk. We could do it on Skype or on the phone or even in person. And I can guarantee you that I will give you at least one tip, one strategy that will take you to the next step in terms of what you need to do. So if you are thinking of joining this wonderful industry, please do so. Those of us that are in here feel very blessed every day that we take on this wonderful, wonderful work. Okay, speak to you soon. Bye.
Hi, I'm Andrew Vanning, and I help smokers like you quit easily without nicotine patches, pills, needles, or nasal sprays. Something that not a lot of people know about when they're trying to quit is that nicotine isn't the only thing that keeps you smoking. You're also triggered by stress, frustration, fatigue, the enjoyment of smoking, and the actual habit itself. Most general quit smoking products won't do anything to help you with your stress, to remove the habit of smoking, or address any of these other triggers that keep you smoking. Imagine you're at work and perhaps you're having a bad day. You're stressed out, the boss is losing it, your customers are going crazy, only to step outside and whack a patch on your arm, expecting the same relief and calming sensation that you would usually get from a cigarette. It's simply not going to happen. This ultimately leads to more stress and longer-term feelings of being deprived. That's why people using these quit smoking aids generally tend to fail. So what can you do? And how do you overcome the nicotine addiction, the stress, the habit, and all the other triggers that keep you smoking? Well, I've designed a program for you that can overcome all these 6 different triggers and give you all the tools and the mindset to succeed. With my help, you will be back on track and be smoke-free for the rest of your life. When you make an appointment with my Quit Smoking program, you will gain access to my welcome pack, which includes a 2-disc CD-DVD set valued at $59, which is full of resources to help kickstart your success as a quit smoker. Then we will make a face-to-face appointment and have 2 sessions of hypnotherapy. Within those 2 sessions, we will completely cover all the 6 different triggers that keep you smoking. So how do you overcome the nicotine addiction, the habit of smoking, the stress, the social pressure to smoke, those procrastination cigarettes? Well, simply enter your details into the opt-in box here on the website, and I will contact you back within 24 hours and we can start this journey today. You know it's time to improve your health, your wallet, and to become a better role model for the people around you. Whatever your excuse, take this opportunity now, enter your details into the opt-in box here on the website, and we can continue this conversation soon.
Hi, my name is Steve Carey. I'm the principal here at the Academy of Hypnotic Science, which is a training school that teaches people just like you to become hypnotherapists. What is hypnotherapy? Hypnotherapy, I guess, is the therapeutic use of hypnosis. Hypnosis is something that we can all do. We can all go into a relaxed, dreamy state of mind. You might think of it as daydreaming, for example, or that experience of driving a car or being on public transport when you're used to the journey, so your mind can kind of daydream. The difference between ordinary daydreaming and hypnotherapy is that it's guided daydreaming, where one person, the therapist, is using a particular kind of language to help somebody to use that state of hypnosis, that state of trance, to make some important changes in their life. Why it works is, I guess, because what we're doing when we're in that daydreaming state is to let down our reality filter, I suppose you might call it, so that you are not filtering out possibilities, you're not denying certain things as being possible or being impossible, you're just open to all suggestions. So hypnotherapists can creatively use that opportunity to use the right sort of language to talk to the subconscious and to help make those changes. What is the right kind of language to speak to the subconscious? Well, let me give you a couple of examples. For example, it seems as if the subconscious does not have a sense of the negative. So that if you were to say to somebody you must stop smoking when they are in trance, then what they're likely to hear is the smoking part of it and not so much of the stop. Allow me to illustrate. Just close your eyes for a second, and I want you not to think of a polar bear. You can open your eyes now, and what most people experience when they try and follow those instructions are that they end up thinking about a polar bear. So it seems as if we can't really have the concept of something without or the negative of a concept without actually having the concept itself. That's one example of how the subconscious is different from the normal waking mind. Another example, I suppose you might say, is that the subconscious doesn't seem to have a sense of the past or the present or the future. And if you think of someone who's been severely traumatized by something that happened to them, say being very badly bullied or being assaulted when young, then in a way what you might say is that they are continuing to live out that experience, continuing to suffer from it. And maybe the person who actually committed that assault or was responsible for the bullying has moved on and has really no real recollection of it at all. But the poor person who was on the receiving end is still continuing to revivify that, if you like, all of the time, experience it and feel it and continue to suffer. So you can use that creatively as a hypnotherapist to help people to make those shifts, to change their concepts, to change the way that they think about things, to change the meaning of experiences by neatly ducking past their reality filter and using their ability to daydream to make those changes. And there are plenty of hypnotherapists around. You may know some, you may have been to one, or you may have seen one advertised. These days it's becoming increasingly respectable, I suppose. There's still a fair amount of skepticism, particularly from people who don't really know an awful lot about it. The more that people seem to know about hypnotherapy, the more that I think they recognize that it isn't just some mumbo-jumbo, weird, crazy stuff, but that it's actually got some real credibility to it and some real potential as a brief therapy. So it's increasingly recognized by people as being a useful way of stopping smoking, for example, or of losing weight, or of getting rid of stress and anxiety, phobias, those kinds of things. So why you might want to start up a practice yourself is to become part of this. If that appeals to you, the thought of actually being in a job, in a career where you are helping people, where you are making a difference to people's lives, if that appeals to you, then the hypnotherapy industry really should be appealing to you. Is it easy? Is it hard? Well, I don't know. Some people tell me that it's quite easy. Other people tell me that it's impossible, which probably says more about them than it actually does about the hypnotherapy industry. Certainly you need to be prepared. You need to know what you're doing. You need to be ready and able to work hard at this. And Scott is a very good example of this. He's worked tremendously hard to get where he is. I think he's found it hard at various times and easy at other times. When you're doing the right things, when you're going about things the right way, things seem to be quite easy. When you're swimming against the tide, you can be working very, very hard and really not getting anywhere. So it's as much about working hard and smart as it is about just working hard. But I would say that it does take any kind of a business. Building a business from scratch by yourself is important and is hard work. You're not going to just be able to people are not going to be aware of you for a start. So you've got to get yourself known to them. You've got to get your message across, and you've got to make people feel comfortable and confident in you that you can actually help them. And that takes practice, that takes a fair bit of experience, it takes determination, and it takes guts. But I do think that it has its own rewards. Yes, they are financial. You can make a good living out of hypnotherapy, as you would know from Scott, that you can actually make a good living out of hypnotherapy. But probably more important than that, most people don't come into the hypnotherapy industry purely with the idea of making lots of money. There are probably other ways where you can make more money, probably faster than in hypnotherapy. But if what really motivates you is this feeling of wanting to be able to help other people, to be really making a difference in people's lives, and to feel that you are every day that you're doing something which is positive and beneficial, I think that to me feels really rewarding. And I very rarely have the experience of seeing a client and at the end of it not feeling pleased and proud that this is what I do. It doesn't mean that I always get success by any means, but what it does mean is that you're aware that you're seeing people at a fairly low end. People tend not to go and see a hypnotherapist unless they have kind of run out of most other options. And while that can be, it can be upsetting for them and indeed for you to witness somebody in this sort of situation, kind of curiously, you don't have to be able to do very much to be able to give someone hope again, because I've found that most people have got great reserves of hope and ability in themselves. And if you can help to remind them of when they've been successful in the past, of when they've done things, when they've achieved things, if you can get them back into that mind frame, that mindset, then they're much more likely to be able to come out of that steep decline. I mean, think about your own life. When you've made a change in your life, you've probably been at a point where you felt that change was possible, where you were able to do it, where you felt that you had that ability. Because after all, if you didn't feel those things, you wouldn't even be aiming to make that change. You wouldn't feel that it was possible. So when someone comes to you feeling flat, feeling deflated, feeling down, feeling lacking in resources, if I can help that person get back in touch with their resources and start to feel that there really is the possibility of change, of improvement again, then that's when that can actually start to happen. Now, how do I know Scott? Well, I know Scott because we were students here at this very academy, at the Academy of Hypnotic Science. And in fact, one of the first early experiences I had of really successful hypnotherapy was with Scott. At the time, I was biting my nails rather badly. They're a lot better now. And I remember Scott asked a really key, really clever question. He simply said to me, how long would you need to go without biting your nails to feel that it was no longer an issue? And I knew the answer. I thought, well, if I can stop biting them for a week, then I will feel that I've got in control of this. And it suddenly made it seem so much more achievable to be able to do that. And then he said, well, actually, I don't know what Scott said at that point, because at that point he did an induction and I don't remember anything else that he said, but I do know that it was tremendously successful and effective with me. And I've known Scott ever since. He's come and talked to many groups of students at the Academy. He's done lecturing, he's done workshops. He's helped so many people to get their practice up and running. And I would say that he is right up there now as an expert at what it takes. And if you are following Scott's advice, then I think you're getting very good advice indeed. And finally, to talk again just a little bit about the Academy, we are, as I say, a training school. We're the biggest training school for hypnotherapists in Australia. We're government accredited, so the certificate for and diploma that we offer are government accredited qualifications, which means that it's not just us who say that these are good qualifications. The government agrees with us. They assess them and audit us quite regularly, and I'm pleased to say that they give us the big tick. And doing our courses means that you can join one of the National Professional Hypnotherapy Associations. You can get insurance to practice. You can get your own private healthcare provider number. So there's a lot that we offer there, and I actually think that we've got a really good set of courses. And if you wanted to find out more, if you did want to find out more about the Academy, we have open evenings a few times a year. You can go and have a look at our website at www.ahs.edu.au, or give us a call at the Academy on 0395324433. And if you wanted to find out more, come along to one of our open evenings. We've actually got one this evening, and we'll tell you about the course, and we'll introduce you to some of the lecturers and answer your questions about the course and about setting up your own practice. In the meantime, follow Scott and listen to his advice, because he gives very good advice. It comes from a very good place. I know that he's got a tremendous heart, and he really believes in helping get people up and running. The more hypnotherapists there are out there, the more that the word spreads, and the more people want to use hypnotherapists, so the more work there is for all of us. So from our point of view, the more hypnotherapists there are, the better for everybody. And because we really believe this stuff, we're not just saying it because, because it makes us money or something. We actually really, really deeply believe that this has got real power and can really make some tremendous changes and help people very much indeed. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best.
Have you ever heard of Brendon Burchard? Brendon Burchard is one of the most widely followed personal development trainers of our time. He is a New York Times #1 bestseller, author whose books include Life's Golden Ticket, The Millionaire Messenger, The Charge, Activating the 10 Human Drives That Make You Feel Alive. After surviving a terrible car crash at age 19, Brendon chose to spread his message of positivity and motivation to the world. After learning from the world's greatest marketers alive today, now Brendon runs an 8-figure business and has nearly 2 million Facebook followers. How did Brendon, a young kid from the Irish mining town in Montana, grow into such a business success story? Can we learn and model industry leaders, past and present, to improve our businesses and to learn from what they know? Where would you take your business if you knew what they knew? Let me share one more strategy with you. When my wife and I started teaching business to student hypnotherapists years ago, I didn't know that I'd be making some of the best friends and contacts of my life. I still hear success stories from my colleagues and from the very first class that we taught about their clinic and the way they run their life and their business. It's such a rewarding community to belong to, and I urge you to make friends and contacts along the way, not just for education and opportunities, but for the friendships. It's a long road, and it pays to go together. There are now countless thousands of working, practicing hypnotherapists who have been trained, completed their education, and built themselves a business in Australia. If you get the opportunity to meet students from our class, take it up because their stories will amaze you. And I hope that you share your stories forward as you help to grow this amazing, natural, healing industry. I hope to see you at the Expert Hypnotherapy Training Advanced course in the future, because we need you. The world needs you more than ever today. As the world keeps changing, there is going to be an ever-increasing need for you and your support to show leadership and to give that personal touch, guidance, and vision to lead people through these changing times, to guide people into certainty and courage, to encourage them to live as their best and most courageous, grateful, and strategic selves, and to create the future purposely and not just become swept along as a piece of driftwood in the sea. Let's look at the 3 main complaints that people make. The first one is big picture complaints. This includes money, government, climate and environment, countries, the future, children, society, education, etc. The second one is other people. Love, families, blame, anger, gender differences, generation gaps, working together, fighting, arguing, neglect, giving, loneliness, bullying, privacy, values, etc. And number 3, the last one, is health related. Physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, intellectual, energy levels, happiness, sadness, anxiety, fear, depression, insomnia, phobias, mobility, strength, weakness, flexibility, differences, mood, excitement, expectation, age, etc. Each of these 3 topics, big picture, people, and health, have changed so rapidly in just the last 5 years. People have problems now that they don't know how to solve. Without your help and contribution, many of these people may get stuck in a system, never asking for help, or just seeing the same experts who aren't helpful, or give up on life altogether. Even though we live in this golden age of opportunity, people let mental illness, physical illness, money, time, and relationship struggles become a source of misery. I'm not saying that you can cure all things easily, although some you can. If you can help people today with a partway measure to make their lives even the tiniest bit better, then you can't afford to underestimate the butterfly effect that you can cause. One small act of kindness, support, education, or healing can affect more people than you may ever know. If ever you believed that you were too small to make a difference, then try going to sleep with a mosquito in the room. Showbag. How you explain what you have or do. Now, last time we spent more time on show. System, which is what your program is called, how it works, the partway outcome to their issue, and why that outcome is important. Which of the 5, or more than one of the 5 markets, are you helping them with? The not die, the be lonely, run out of time, money, and let's have some fun. So now we're going to focus on the BAG part of the SHOWBAG acronym. BAG, how to make what you show stand for more. What is your bag? B for brandable. So what does branding mean to you? Instead of just creating a bag of potatoes, a coffee, a massage, a counseling session. It's about a trust relationship between you, your product or service, and your clients. It's the difference between a hamburger and a Big Mac, or a fast car or a Porsche. It's raising your rock star profile, your public perception of you or your product or service. It's the ability to become a role model to more people than the amount of people who you meet. More importantly than ever, your rock star profile is your ability to stand for something. So why is standing for something so important? Well, it's simple. It's the TLC of business. Trust, legacy, and contribution. Trust. When you stand for quality, speed, extra care, and consistency, then your market learn to depend on you in their lives. It's their ability to understand their own expectations each and every time you deliver something. For example, let's say that there's a band that you love. Every time they release a new CD, they rock hard for you and they soothe you or they excite you. Whatever you're into, that's what they stand for. Now let's say that they violate your expectations by giving you a CD that doesn't rock or doesn't soothe or doesn't excite. They may have created a masterpiece long ago, but they didn't become brand focused because they weren't consistent in building trust by standing for what they stand for in all that they do, in each album or CD or track that they release. Legacy. This is a way of getting known far outside of your lifetime or the circles that you have time to meet. Legacy is a human need because it adds meaning to our identities. The human race have been obsessed with identity since the birth of culture because of how it makes us feel and helps us to survive. Contribution. If ever you've had the feeling that life is meaningless, that you had it all but nothing seemed to make you happy, it was because too much of what you had was for you and not enough of it was for others. Contribution is a need. People who are the happiest are the ones who know that they create a love or positive benefit out there in the world for others. The same as when we enroll you into our next program, there's only so much that we can take before it just doesn't mean anything anymore. The only way to raise happiness to its fullest potential is to allow that brand and legacy to count more for what it means to others than what it feels like for you. In other words, if you don't feel like you are losing something of material value, then you aren't gaining anything of spiritual, intellectual, or emotional value. Many people have difficulty with this paradox of giving in order to get. But if you had 100 steaks and could only eat 2, how could you enjoy the other 98? You'd have to give them away. And for vegetarians, let's come up with a vegetable example. The paradox is best explained through nature. Sometimes when you want to grow a tree, you have to cut it. Sometimes you need to, the same as we do. You need to get paid more in thank yous than in material possessions. If ever you feel empty, it's because you haven't spent enough time generating love for others outside of what you will ever be able to witness yourself. There's a reason why the rich donate to charity. It's not just to improve public opinion. Philanthropy is a time-honored tradition that feeds the soul and makes life meaningful again. It's almost the sixth market. Never underestimate your client's need to contribute. If you are having trouble with a client and you've been through health, relationship, money, time, and fun questions to work out their balance, you've been through their pictures, sounds, feelings, habits, you've been through their past, present, and future, their male and female language and symbols, it may be worth your time checking on their levels of contribution. When you contribute generously to your tribe, then your brand will grow into something beyond money. You'll be adding to the value and richness of culture and of love. Anchors or acronyms, annotations, animations, architecture or artwork diagrams. This is how you simplify the message that you teach. If you can use clever pictures, sounds, feeling exercises or anchors to make your message memorable, then your message can spread beyond you. You can see that the Maslow hierarchy, the food pyramid, the Anthony Robbins 6 core needs, the NLP eye movement chart, all explains ideas visually. There are flowcharts, tree diagrams, circles, triangles, simple blueprint diagrams, etc. There are literally countless ways to demonstrate your concepts. As we've learned from psychology, some people learn more through pictures, some through sounds, and others through feelings. So it pays to use all of the submodalities to get your point across. Acronyms are a good way of anchoring your concept in a memorable way, especially when your concept requires to be remembered in a particular order. Just like the sentence, "Every good boy deserves fruit," is there to tell you the order of musical notes on a stave. The acronym spells a particular word and can only be spelt one way. Therefore, it's a great tool for sequence. When you don't require sequence, starting many words with the same letter can really help. 2 examples we use are the 4 S's and the 4 A's. The 4 A's are how to get the right information to increase your credibility. The 4 A's stand for A players, modeling the present-day heroes and winners in your topic. Ancestry, knowing your past and the past changes in your topic. Audience, testing and asking if your tribe or clients understand what you are teaching, and anchors, ways to remember what you've learned. And the 4 S's, the 4 steps in creating your plan. State, how you manage your mind. Study, how to get the right information. Strategy, how to turn your broad idea and information into an actionable planned set of actions. And stamina, how to give yourself enough time to succeed. The process of getting your business right is remarkably straightforward. It's the 4 S's. State, study, strategy, and stamina. First, you want to work on your state of mind. Are you making angry ultimatums to yourself? Calling yourself or others names? Blaming the world for your situation? Or are you focused and ready to get down to work? Second, study. If you don't know what to do, then it's not, quote unquote, hard to sell yourself. It's actually impossible. It astounds me how many people say that they are trying when they're really just taking their chances and doing just whatever. I mean, success has been mapped out, blueprinted, laid out in front of you in steps. But if you just want to make it up yourself, then you can join the countless others who refuse to study success and end up wasting their whole lives. I know it sounds harsh and provocative, but that's kind of the point. I really do care if you succeed or not. I want you to win big. Not just to try while torturing yourself. I mean really win. The 3rd S is strategy. Once you've had your study under your belt, then you need to literally take out a pen and paper or a computer, or whatever you use is fine, and physically do the act of mapping out, outlining, unpacking your strategy. Face it, study without following up by creating your own strategy from what you've learned is kind of a waste of time. If all you do is become a book junkie, seminar or webinar junkie, then you're playing the game from the sidelines. The 4th and final S is stamina. Many people just don't give themselves enough space to succeed. Mastery isn't something that you just wake up one day and decide to do. Stamina is a lifestyle choice. The best industry leaders in the world didn't just decide yesterday that they wanted to be successful. The Beatles, Steve Jobs, J.K. Rowling, and even Einstein didn't just decide one day to become an amazing inspiration to the world. They stuck at it, attempt after attempt. They had to give themselves time to figure this stuff out. There are more people today who want and need your products and services than ever before. The challenge is in understanding new marketing, new platforms, and being willing to live up to the challenge. Hey, if you have a gift to give to the world, don't you owe it to yourself and to the world to make it happen? To work on your state, study, strategy, and stamina until you get that thing done? Or are you just going to give up? I can tell you, as Napoleon Hill famously said, whether you aim high or aim low in life, the effort is the same. So if you're going to have to work hard anyway, why not just get rewarded for it at the same time? That's the way that I see it. So what do you believe about marketing today? What is your strategy for making psychology and using the new platforms available today? Are you ready to get into this now? Or have you been scared off by trolls? Those people who put you down or have butted up against the technology challenges and decided that it was all too hard. Trolls don't deserve to have that much control over you. And technology has become so click and play, drag and drop, that you can literally do most of the online steps that I tell you in just 10 minutes. So you've decided to work on your 4 S's, your state, study, strategy, and stamina. But who do you study? What do you study? This is where you need the 4 A's of where to get your information. The first A is A players. I'd really like for you to think about the industry that you're in. Do you know anyone who's doing what you would like to do? How have they done it? Does it make sense that the first thing to do is to model the results that you want to get? If you're not learning from A+ players in your industry, then you could be at risk of learning from the wrong people. People have so many opinions, there's literally no shortage of opinions. Anytime someone offers you theirs, try asking them about their results. If you're impressed with what they have achieved, doesn't it make sense that they've earned their credibility, not because of what they say or think, because of what they have proven over and over again? Okay, moving on. I'd like for you to stop this recording again and now write down the names of 3 people who are currently in your industry creating the type of success that you desire to have. If you can't think of 3, then maybe you're being too specific or too vague about what it is that you do and who it is that you help. I can almost hear you say, "But Scott, I sell screwdrivers designed to work in space. I don't have a mentor to show me." Or, "I'm a coach who helps 36-year-old women to live in this tiny little pocket of the world." Or, "Scott, I combine everything. Nobody's done what I do before." Come on, if you can't find 3 people to inspire you, and again, I know that I'm pushing some people's buttons here, but that's what you came here for. You want to be challenged to a higher level. I would not be doing my job if I let you off that easily and didn't make you write down the names of 3 people who inspire you. The second A is ancestry. This is about looking back in time for how things used to be done and how the world has changed. Who are the past leaders who invented or brought your industry forward? What do you have to do to make such a mark on history? Also, what history happened accidentally that made its mark in our history books? For example, this could be the happy accident that the Kellogg's father and son discovered when they accidentally left their grain out for too long to dry before pressing it. They invented breakfast cereals by mistake. Write down 3 changes that happened in your industry that gave birth to or reinvented the way that people will forever do business. The third A stands for audience. Who are you serving? Have you asked them their opinion about what you do? Are you aware of any case studies of a person who used your product or your service? They could be your customer or someone else's customer, and they had a good or bad experience. Write down 3 case studies of an audience or a customer, or if you can't think of one off the top of your head, go ahead and look one up on Google or ask a well-informed mentor to provide one for you. What did they have to say about your industry? And the fourth and final A is anchor. It's all well and good to go and study people, A players, ancestry, and your audience, but what are you going to do with that information? How are you going to anchor or put into a mnemonic or story what you have learned from your study or research so that you can recall that information at a later time? So in the BAG acronym, the A that stands for acronyms or anchors, that's how we teach points, by turning them into a framework such as the 4 A's or the 4 S's. And we can allow that to become a teaching model that can be taught beyond ourselves. And the final letter in the BAG acronym is G, which stands for generosity. Generosity is how you do 2 things: build trust and give back to those who will never become your customer. Too many people make the mistake of leaving non-customers out when they generate their free or cheap marketing introduction products. These people who never buy from you, they need to be honored every bit as much as those who pay you $10,000 a year. More people who touch, read, see, hear, or meet what you have created will probably not buy it than those who will buy it. What legacy do you want to leave on this planet? Are you going to be the person who loves your paying customers but hates everybody else? Trust and generosity go hand in hand because your public image is the effect that you have had on most people, not just those who pay you. So as we offer you a seat in our advanced course and you take it, good for you. You're going to go far. You're going to own this industry. And if this isn't the right time for you, or we're not the right people to train you, then I hope that you got enough benefit from the less expensive and free training that we're happy to give you. We put the same amount of effort into everything that we create. It really can never be just about the money part. That's where the money is evil myth comes from. Money can be used for evil, just like a knife can be used for good or bad. A surgeon needs a knife to save lives. So it can be a good thing, just like money can be a tool for contribution, for charity, for growth, and for all of our lives and legacies. We need to respect the legacies of everybody. The 5 FAQs, or the 5 frequently asked questions. Number 1, what if I'm not a computer expert? This is such a common question and a common fear for so many people. It's okay, you're not alone. There is support out there for you. It could be in the form of people who you know, a YouTube tutorial, a service that you outsource to, or even a course that you attend. Your first consideration when using any technology, computers or otherwise, is to get clear on your outcome. I've heard some people get rich from using Facebook or YouTube, and others tell me that it just doesn't work for them at all. The first difference in getting it right is don't jump straight into action. Take the time out first to ask yourself the big picture questions. If I was a technology expert, what would I want back from the technology that I'm using? Is it more customers? Is it a method for staying in touch with people? Do I turn technology into my product, book, video, voice, or music recording? Am I using it as a long-range communication device, such as Skype or messaging people? Am I using it to build a community that's larger than me, so that the community can talk to each other? Do I want it to do my administration for me? For example, to organize my calendar and schedule? Am I using it as my online cash register or shopping cart? Do you see what I mean? When you don't know what outcome you want from your computer or technology, it's pretty hard to jump straight in and start working on your plan. Imagine having a jigsaw puzzle with no box or no finished picture to work from. What's the big picture for you? And how would you know when you've reached your destination? Once you know what you want, then it becomes so much easier to search for or ask for advice in creating a plan. There are probably less steps in the technology part of your plan than what you'd think. Many people have run into the technology problem before you and created programs and services to make it easier for you. Remember, every day a new online program or online training course comes out to make that problem you once had go away. Number 2, how do I get clients from Facebook? Whew, what a question. This question is, as much as it sounds new, it's based on the same question people asked back when TV and radio first came out. You need to ask what you want from Facebook, or what do you want from YouTube? What do you want them to do for you before you can work out the how? There are actually only 5 outcomes to Facebook. It can be a source of traffic, a way to store your list of contacts, an online newsletter, or a way to keep in contact and add value to your subscribers, or it can be a selling tool and it can be an online product. So A, we're going to look at track again. Track is to figure out what you want from Facebook before you work out your strategy or your how. The first point, have you drawn out your track as a flowchart yet? Do you know why you need to give value to your subscribers before you ask them for money? Do you know why sending traffic straight to a sales page is a bad idea? Do you know why you need to sell your client a package instead of individual sessions? Do you know why your traffic must come from multiple sources instead of one? Do you know why you need the help of others to help you to succeed? I'm sure that you do, but are you mapping out these reasons? There is a reason why you need to map this out for yourself. Traffic, likes, shares, pay-per-click, custom audiences, lookalike audiences. It's important to know Facebook's exit and entry points where a client can enter your funnel and be taken off your Facebook pages. You need to know how likes, shares, pay-per-click, custom audiences, lookalike audiences fit into your funnel. Retention, add to groups, invite to opt-ins, offer an ebook. What is the difference between a Facebook personal page, a business page, public groups, and a private or secret group? What is the best, easiest to create, most persuasive style of a freemium? And what type of results are the right results to advertise? That Facebook will allow you to advertise and that will cause your subscribers to want to open your free content and eventually to pay you for your time, coaching, therapy, or training. Affection. Add value to your groups weekly. Surprise videos, daily picture status updates, retargeting, custom audiences, pay-per-click, etc. How do you run a preview event online to mass, either online or on stage, to attract large volumes of clients in one go, instead of the slow drip feed of death that most people use? Conversion. Pay-per-click. Offers to your groups, lists, retarget, and custom audiences. Is it better to sell one-on-one, group, or online therapy as your backend? What should you charge? What type of sales language lets you know that you are the best available choice? How do you zoom out of your topic to stop competing with just other hypnotherapists and start competing with a broader community or market? For example, other coaches, physical cures, etc. What is the best approach through Facebook to be seen en masse? Products. Sell access to a private or invisible support group on Facebook. How do you sell Facebook rooms to people as a backend? And where do you include it in your offer? How do you use Facebook public or private groups to turn your one-off clients into lifetime clients? How do you maintain your social media presence without burning out? Once you know how to use track on Facebook and YouTube, then you'll never need to worry about where to find clients ever again. It's really simpler than you think. Most people just complicate it. Number 3, what if I don't get clients? If you believe in psychology, if you believe in the subconscious and the power of suggestion, then you know the power of your thoughts. You should never ask, what if I don't get clients? You should ask, what should I do, or what are the steps, etc. There is absolutely no point in being negative. Be thorough, be inquisitive, be a great researcher, be the most informed, get a coach and mentor, and just like the greats. But whatever you do, never ask questions in a negative way. Ask, how do I get my first clients? Or how do I boost my current level of clients? You're better than that. It pays to train your subconscious in the right way. The second thing to do after getting positive is to get specific. Asking your question in a positive way isn't enough. If you haven't defined what your problem is, then you aren't ready to fix it. So going back to the TRACK acronym, let's define what you really want to know. Finding clients. Diversify your sources. Many people make the mistake of putting all of their eggs into one basket. Facebook is still our favorite way to build a client base, but YouTube, search engines, live seminars, network events, word of mouth, referral programs, and other forms of paid and unpaid advertising are also valuable to your business. This may sound like a lot of work, but once you've written your content, you've tested it, and you've found that your highest click-through rate gaining traffic, you can use and reuse the same material on all platforms. The great thing about social media is that you can test it. Even with the most advanced psychology, you never know which one of your advertising creations are really going to hit it off with your list. So make different versions, test, retest, and redistribute your winners across as many platforms as possible. Just like that list that I gave you of YouTube, search engines, live seminars, network events, word of mouth, referral programs, the material that tested best should be redistributed across all of those platforms. Retention. Staying in touch. Offer something of value. Imagine that you meet somebody at a party or at a networking event and you get on with them great. You say to yourself, hey, that's the kind of person who I should be working with or hanging out with, dating, marrying, or just getting to know more. And then when it comes to exchanging details, you just say, well, I'm sure we'll run into each other again. Then that would be pretty silly. Online is no different when you find a subscriber or a new potential customer. You need to collect the details with an opt-in page. You could try Kajabi or Kajabi Next, Megaphone, Lead Pages, Optimize Press, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. There are so many programs that allow you to develop an opt-in page easily, or a system for staying in touch. Affection, giving the love, building trust and authority. Add extra value. We all can be kind of guilty of forgetting what the online world really is. We focus too heavily on how many people we can reach or how wide we can go versus how deep we can go, or the quality or intimacy of the relationship between you and your audience, viewers or potential customers. We undervalue our voice, our influence, and frankly, we undervalue the intelligence of our viewers. We've been shown so many examples of people acting in immature, ridiculous behaviors that we somehow assume that that's the human race. All marketing these days is educational-based marketing, and people are smart enough to understand you if you give them a chance. And if you train them for free, either on your webpage or somewhere else they can go to get to know you as an expert before they come to see you or before they buy from you. Offer something or become a bench warmer. And bench warmer is my joke to say that that person, they're not playing the game, they're just off warming the bench. Create a compelling offer. If you don't actually make an offer, then it's quite possible that nobody will know that you have anything to sell. In hundreds of student and new hypnotherapist web pages that I've seen, pages that talk about the virtues of hypnotherapy, of psychology, and it talks about the web page creator, but ultimately it fails to make any meaningful offer or exchange of money for a program. So the first things first, make an offer. You really want to pay somebody or to get some training on how to make your offer look and sound compelling. Go back to the sales offer acronym, the hook, the offer, and the call to action, and enroll in our advanced course for the latest and highest converting sales copy training. The art of writing ads is worth every cent. Offer extra value for money. Upsell and find out what they need next. Once you have somebody pay you, then you know that they are willing to pay you for hypnotherapy. If you help them and you've done really well in your service, then why wouldn't they want you to help them to solve more problems and reach more goals? If they don't pay you, then they'll just end up paying someone else. So why not you? But again, you need to make an offer. There is an array of ways of selling yourself and different prices and market entry points. You don't just have to see clients one-on-one. You can make your living coaching, instructing, motivating, counseling, and hypnotizing groups, writing books, speaking in public, creating videos, audios, etc. There is an incredibly inexpensive entry point to the entire service and helping market now. How much should I charge? This part is about packaging, and it leads to the bigger question of what should I sell and how should I package it? You should consider other ways of charging for hypnotherapy. There are books, CD sets, live speaking events, group coaching, and group hypnotherapy, one-on-one and online or offline videos or audios. Also, it's time to think about multiple price and package points. I'm going to give you some examples, but you're going to have to go in with a sense of flexibility. Hypnotherapy is more than just seeing one client for 1 hour, running the same set routine. Your job is to offer value and transformation. How you deliver that is up to you. Industry standard versus it's up to you. Many people charge $200 per hour. Some more, some less, but it's pretty standard to charge $200 an hour as a therapist for a one-on-one session. But it all depends on how you are selling yourself and for what reason. There are people who do $500 an hour, others do retainers, and others will only let you see them in the high-priced group sessions. It can also depend on what problems or ambitions that you are servicing. People have an expectation for $200 per hour if you are giving them therapy, whereas business coaching can attract a much higher rate. When selling mental health solutions, and relationship solutions, you can attract different rates depending on your fame, your positioning, and what industry you are competing in. Programs. I recommend turning your service into a package or program so that you don't have to work too hard when you attract new traffic into your business. If you are buying traffic through flyers, TV or radio ads, etc., or you use paid online advertising with Google or Facebook, etc., then you'll be spending far too much money advertising single sessions if you aren't planning on seeing that client several times for several programs. If you advertise 6 sessions in your program, then you only need 5 new clients per week to attract 30 sessions per week. A program can also help you to help your clients at a deeper level. A single session of hypnotherapy can only do so much. You need to stay in their lives long enough to measure what is happening for them. Hourly rate. An hourly rate can be both charged up front for a series of sessions or as a pay-as-you-go system. It's been said by Robert Kiyosaki that you should avoid hourly rates because it lacks leverage. Unless you are charging so much per hour that you can afford to pay all of your business expenses, your tax, home expenses, and can still afford to get rich off it, then hourly rates will essentially imprison you. The reason for this imprisonment is that you cannot ever work more hours per week than exist in a week. Subtract from your week however many hours you sleep, eat, drive or travel, and wish to see your family or have personal playtime, and it doesn't leave you with many hours at all. Keeping in mind that it's your business and not you who are earning that money. An hourly rate of $20 per hour may seem attractive as an employee, but as self-employed, you want at least $200 per hour to stay in the game. Retainers. Retainers start to make more sense when you leverage your time. If you can avoid coaching or hypnotizing simply one-on-one and also have group sessions or monthly speaking events that people pay you for, then you can increase your income multiple fold depending on how good your marketing is. A retainer charged to a group helps you not only leverage your time by seeing more people at once, but it also means that you retain each new monthly payment that you attract instead of having to market for new customers every day just to stay afloat. The key word that needs to be going through your mind in business is leverage. What do I do once I get a client? This is a common question, and if you're asking it, then that's great. It means that you are thinking further ahead than many. There's the question of, what do I do when the phone rings or I get an email from a client wanting to book in? There's what do I send them in the mail or email? Is there a questionnaire or a confirmation letter that needs to go out? How do I do the actual therapy? What do I upsell them from one program to the next? These are all great questions. How do I actually get my client to quit smoking, to lose weight? How do I cure insomnia, depression, anxiety, etc.? We can cover all of these in more detail later down the track, but as an extra added bonus, I've included my How to Become an Expert Quit Smoking Hypnotherapist live seminar at the end of this video. Also check out my other quit smoking weight loss programs and webinars. The phone script. How are you answering the phone? I remember the first time that I answered the phone for my hypnotherapy business. The phone rings and I was in the car and had no diary. So it went ring ring, hello? The client says, yeah, hi, is this that place that does the quit smoking thing? And I say, yes, are you calling to make an inquiry? The client says, yeah, how does hypnotherapy work? Then I say back, well, it's about hypnosis. It uses the subconscious mind to help people. And then the client says, oh, how many sessions do I need to quit smoking? And then I say back, if you want to come in and do a session, then we can keep working with you until you quit smoking. And then the client says back, well, how many sessions does it usually take? Then I say, well, not many. Do you want to make an appointment? The client asks me, how much does it cost for a session? And I say, $90? And the client says, oh, okay, that sounds really interesting. I'll call you back. And I go, yeah, sure, bye, talk to you soon. This is not a very good phone script. The only mistake that I made there was to not have a phone script. My new phone script that converts nearly everybody on the first go is called Appointment, Program, Pause. Allow me to demonstrate. So again, the phone goes ring, ring, and I say, hello? And they go, hi, is that place that does the quit smoking thing? And then I answer with, yes, are you calling to make an appointment? The client then says, First, I just want to know how the whole thing works, please. Then I say, yes, the program is the 2 sessions of hypnotherapy plus a 2-disc CD set. Almost everybody quits by the end of the first session, and it's guaranteed for life, which means that you can come back free of charge forever for life. The client goes, wow, that's a great deal. How much does the session cost? This next part, we've changed the price since, so this is from my old script, but what I would say is the program is $360, and we give a $60 discount for payment on the first day, which brings the whole thing down to $300. Now we just charge $395 without discounts. And then me again, this is where I just pause. Then the client says, okay, can I book in please? Then I say, sure, are you looking for a weekday or a weekend? Then they might say, weekday. Then I'll say, okay, are you looking for a morning or an evening? Perhaps they say morning. Then let's say if they've agreed on morning, I could say, well, I've got a 9 or a 10 available. Then they pick one of them. Let's say they pick the 10 o'clock. At that point, we've made an appointment. The next thing I say is, great, I just need a few details from you. What's the spelling of your full name, your full postal address, your email address, and your phone number? Great, we'll email you your confirmation of appointment. There's a client questionnaire that we send you. Can you please fill it out and bring it with you on the day? Great, see you then. This phone script works almost every time because of its simple structure. The first piece of magic comes from the word appointment. Whatever you say first, they will do. No, really, they will. Do you remember the first example when I asked, are you calling to make an inquiry? What did they do? They went ahead and made an inquiry. You must make your first or second sentence be, are you calling to make an appointment? Even if they say, hi, I'm just calling to make an inquiry and work out your fees. What's your success rate and how does hypnosis work? Still, the first sentence you say needs to be the same, either whether you pretend that you didn't hear it, but basically you need to reply with, are you calling to make an appointment? You can answer all of their questions afterwards, but you must set your expectation first. You expect that they are calling to make an appointment. The second piece of magic comes from the word program. If somebody asks you how hypnosis works, you need to say it's a program. Say program before you tell them anything else. The reason for this is that you are contextualizing your service. You are telling them that no matter what hypnosis actually is, the word program means that they get everything contained in their program. There's no picking and choosing parts. It all comes together in their program. This is a trust building exercise with your clients. You need to build that trust straight off the bat. Don't say, hypnosis is an advanced system of suggestions, progressive muscle relaxation, guided imagery, lowering brain waves from beta waves down to alpha waves, using the reticular activating system of the brain. This answer doesn't actually mean anything to your clients in your phone script. I like to say, the program contains X number of sessions and a 2-disc CD set. Confirmation email, questionnaire, text message reminder 1 day before the appointment. It pays to email something to your client to make you appear more professional. We recommend emailing out a confirmation of appointment and a client questionnaire. Also, we text our clients the day before with a friendly text reminder to reduce the no-shows or the people who just don't show up and don't tell you that they weren't going to show up. Creating the CD set and the folder. The CD set. If you don't already have a CD set, then you should get started. I like to include 3,000 words per CD, which lasts for approximately 30 minutes of record time. In a 2-disc CD set, you will need close to 6,000 words. If you start by writing 400 words a day, then you can expect to have a 6,000 word CD script within 15 days. Can you write 400 words per day? I bet you can when you break it down into a plan before you start. Now that you have a script, you need to record it. Audacity is a free program available for download for PCs and Macs. It allows you to record and edit yourself anywhere. You will also need a CD design and a written blurb on the back of your CD set. I use Dreamstock and other cheap stock images available for download cheaply online. You might pay $1 per image or up to about $5 for a suitable picture. We designed a CD cover in Corel Draw. However, there are many programs out there to design CD covers. A stack of printable CDs we buy at Aldi for $10 for 50 CDs, and CD cases can work out to be 35 cents per set. For a final product, for 75 cents, you can have a CD set printed. It pays to research your topic It doesn't matter if you pick weight loss, quit smoking, or how to get confidence as a public speaker as your niche, but you cannot simply do hypnotherapy with at least some knowledge of the topic. Add extra value or surprise bonuses. You can add extra value quickly and easily, simply by giving them a low production cost bonus that adds tremendous value to your clients. This could be in the form of a free ticket to a live event that you hold, a CD, an ebook, or access to an online course that you created, etc. They're easier to create than you'd think. We can talk about creating CD sets and seminars down the line. The should ask questions. Your 5 should ask questions. Number 1, how many books on personal development, businesses, and extra courses should you study? Well, that depends on how good you want to get and how much you want to earn and how quickly. Don't get left behind as the economy continues to change and evolve. Business is changing and you need to change too. To be the best hypnotherapist that you can be, the best business mind, and to gain the highest levels of control over your life, your personal life, finances, and levels of contribution to the world, you should always be reading books, doing new courses on both psychology and business, and attending seminars to make sure that you are in touch with the latest and most effective tools and have access to the community. In fact, you could say that that's our secret. We had help. Don't do everything alone. There's no point to suffering in silence. Get out there and continue to improve your knowledge, your connections, support groups, and your business. Budgeting. How should I budget? Another handy tip from my lovely wife, who was my fiance at the time, she was searching through our expenses looking for where we could cut costs. Because we track the cost of our advertising and how much business we get back, she found at least $1,000 worth of advertising costs that wasn't even returning enough business back to break even. Knowing that our webpage traffic returns us approximately $400 for every $20 that we pay, she fine-tuned our advertising budget by scheduling that $1,000 of wasted advertising money into paying for webpage traffic. For every $20, we return $400. That makes an extra $20,000 extra dollars per year, minus our expenses of $1,000, leaving us $19,000 extra in the bank. This is the whole secret to budgeting that many people don't know. People say, I don't want to do a budget, or budgeting is too hard, or worse, they write a static budget and don't use it to fine-tune their return on investment. If you aren't revisiting your budget regularly, tracking your return on investment on each form of advertising, and fine-tuning your advertising budget, then you are leaving money on the table. Don't get overcharged for web pages. When people tell us that they pay $500 per month for web page maintenance, we nearly cry every time. You need 3 things to own a web page. The first one, you need a domain name that's $8 per year. Number 2, you need hosting, which is around $50 per year. And the third thing, you need a web page. It's a once-off fee. Elance will do a complete web page for around $300, or you can build it yourself. We use both Crazy Domains and GoDaddy for our domain names and hosting. Do not pay thousands for a web page. They are so cheap to outsource, it's not even funny seeing people waste tens of thousands of dollars of hard-earned income on what should cost you no more than $60 a year to maintain. The third should ask question, how do I maintain a service mindset and not burn out? Well, how is your work-life balance? Your work, rest, and play, as the Mars Bar ad says, is the balance of life. After all, we work to live, not live to work. Is your business giving you a greater level of freedom in your life? So many hypnotherapists burn out because they don't balance their work and their life. Make a list of everybody in your life, then rate out of 10 your relationships with them and how they are going. Is there anybody on that list who needs some attention? Is it you? Are you the one who needs some of your own time? Take some time off once in a while. Nothing clears the head more than actually taking time off. Your health is important as much mentally as it is physically. Always have somebody in your life who can remind you if you are pushing yourself too hard. Trust them and let them help you. Trust me, because I've had that same problem. We don't always recognize our own weaknesses, so it's important to have a network of friends and family who can help you to live your life in balance. Future alerts. Create a list of things to look out for. For example, health problems, fatigue, relationship trouble, financial trouble, not enough time for you, etc. The reason for having this list is that once a month, you need to check the list to make sure these things are in check and are in balance. If they are, then great. If they aren't, then you need to take a serious think about how you are going to balance your work and life together. Have concrete goals in place so that you can schedule celebrations at each signpost. And most importantly, ask for help when you need it. Life health comes to you in 3 parts: work, your financial health; rest, your physical health; and play, your mental health. Let me break that down for you a bit more. If you don't have all of these 3 in check, then you won't enjoy your life. I've shared with you now some great tools, tips, and tricks for your financial health. And if you've seen my Healthy Living Weight Loss seminar, then you've seen my tools and you're educated on physical health. But what about play? How is your mental health? How are you enjoying your life? When was the last day that you had off? Saw your family, smelt the roses, went to the beach, or saw your best friends? Are you prioritizing yourself? The happiest people in life are balancing their work, rest, and play. As they say that it's no good winning your away games unless you are winning your home games as well. Using your ability to put a business plan together, it might be time to put a life plan together, using the same information that you would share with your clients. If your hypnotherapy and counseling skills are good enough for your clients, then doesn't it make sense that it's good enough for you also? So make sure you enjoy your life and think big. The 4th should ask question: should I survey my clients and market? In a word, yes, of course you should. How are you going to know how well you are doing, what your clients want, and how best to provide it, and to ultimately get inside the head of your clients if you don't ask them? Every time you build a new hypnotherapy program, a seminar, an ebook, etc., ask your tribe if they want it. The answers may surprise you. After running a seminar, workshop, or even a one-on-one therapy session, give them a survey. Find out how they feel about how you went. Either you win or you learn. Either you get nice feedback or you find out something that you can improve. The worst case scenario can only be that you learn something that you hadn't even thought of. When we held our workshop seminars, I managed to attract $10,000 for an event that my teachers previously had attracted around the $300 mark for. My single best converting ad came about because of a survey exercise that we did. We simply asked our customers what they wanted to learn. If we had not asked people what they want, we would have ended up sending out the same ad that everybody sends out. It's your job to stand out above your competitors. And the only way to do that is to find out what your clients want that your competition isn't providing them with, and then to go ahead and provide it. But more importantly, don't just provide it. Tell people about it. Tell them that you provide it. Advertise it, and then provide it. A survey is perfect for the front end of your funnel. A survey is not only a great market research tool, but it's a great way to start a conversation. Before advertising your program, you could send traffic to SurveyMonkey and then use the survey to build your list before you offer them free content and then offer them your program. Should ask question number 5. How do I balance my work and home life? Again, as the Mars bar ad says, work, rest, and play. In our advanced program, we include a module on work-life balance. It's important not to burn out, to alienate the rest of your life, or to lose the ability to function as your highest self. The 3-step plan to monitoring your work-life balance is to 1. Have a vision for what you would like your life to be, if you could choose your ideal life. Number 2, turn your vision into a strategy. And 3, break your strategy into daily activities. There is so much more that we could talk about here, but we don't have time to cover everything here. Just trust me on the work-life balance. You're going to need it. You need your health, you need your tribe, you need your personal space, your sleep, and your fun, etc. Live a full life. It's not all about work. So we've talked a little bit about our online expert hypnotherapy training advanced course that's coming up. It comes with 5 months of online training, the latest updates, scripts, templates and formulas, stories and first steps and mistakes. Basically, it's everything that you need to get started. The scripts are there that you can copy and paste, the templates are there for you to fill out, and the formulas are there to make the whole thing so much easier. We want to get you earning what you need, working the hours that you want, and to feel emotionally fed by what you do, to gain freedom, and to continue in your personal development. We want you to serve the world, to leave a legacy, and to live meaningfully, and to be happy, to be financially secure. As a bonus at the end of this video, we've included our industry-famous system called How to Become an Expert Quit Smoking Hypnotherapist. Also, take this as a taste of what's to come in future training in our advanced program. We're running our online classes between the $3,000 to $6,000 mark. So compared to the 5 years of figuring this out and the tens of thousands of dollars we've spent learning it, this really is a discounted rate. This could save you decades and money. We'd love to see you on the other side. So take your time with the training. It's yours forever now. So enjoy. Remember that you're here to leave a legacy and to contribute to the world and the lives of other people. Again, the first mistake that people make is to become overwhelmed and to try to set up their clinic too quickly. Relax and spend some time in the learning phase. Take out a pen and paper and get to know your plan. You'll thank yourself for this later. So thanks so much for the comments and feedbacks from the previous 2 training videos. I've read every comment personally. So remember to comment again and tell us what you think, and until next time, this is Scott Lawrence helping you grow your confidence to serve your clients and to build your business in a bigger way.